Hey everyone, and welcome back to another UFC 207 Fighter Showcase. Today I'll be using Dominic the Dominator Cruz in the Bantamweight division. Now this was a very interesting fight, and as you guys know, there is absolutely no way I'm going to pick Dominic Cruz and not try to fight exactly like Dominic Cruz fights in real life. I am a big fan of Dominic Cruz. I am a big fan of his style of fighting. I love his movement. I love his philosophy when it comes to defense. I love his philosophy when it comes to offense. And I just love his whole approach to mixed martial arts as in general. I love the fact that he goes in there and he focuses on not getting hit. I really respect that about his style. And I know a lot of people like to call him a runner. A lot of people like to insult him, like to diminish what he's accomplished in the octagon. They like to call him pillow-fisted. They just, a lot of people like to discredit him and not give him the credit he deserves for that style of fighting and what he's been able to accomplish in the octagon. But I'm not one of those guys. I really appreciate Dominic Cruz, and I don't think people are going to start appreciating what Dominic Cruz has been able to do until later in the future. Right now, a lot of people don't understand what he is doing, but what he is doing is revolutionary. It really is. That style is 100% completely his own. He developed that style on his own, and he has done it very, very well. I mean, this guy was out for a very long time and was able to come back into the octagon and defeat TJ Dillashaw, who is a dangerous man. His last fight, he completely dominated Uriah Faber. Completely dominated him. I mean, you don't get like that by being a weakling. You don't get like that by being a quote-unquote runner. And that's the one thing that people don't get, but they're going to understand that very soon. Now, he is set to face Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt has been talking about how, he believes he's going to walk through whatever Dominic Cruz throws at him. He believes he's going to go in there and he's going to knock Dominic Cruz out within the first 2 rounds. I think he's out of his mind. I really do. I think he has no clue what he's talking about. But that's just my opinion. I still intend to make a full prediction on this fight, and let me tell you guys, I have a lot to say when it comes to Dominic the Dominator Cruz, but I digress. In this fight, I am facing a very aggressive Thomas Almeida, and he's very aggressive in a good way. It's not a stupid aggression. This player really brought out the best of me when it comes to my movement. I really didn't feel that threatened in this fight. I really didn't, but he was a good player. I knew he was a good player because of the way he was moving forward, and he wasn't that open for counter shots. I mean, and also the one thing that I like to pay attention to when I'm facing opponents who like to move forward is I like to look for patterns. The one thing about counter striking is it is a very small part of counter striking. As this round is about to end right there, go for that body kick. It didn't land. What I was saying is a small part of counter striking is based on reactions, and a large part of counter striking is all about noticing patterns. It's all about noticing the patterns your opponent set, remembering those patterns, and placing yourself in positions where you force them to only throw a certain kind of strike, and you're already in a position to counter. That's something Dominic Cruz does very, very, very well. And with this fight, I was trying to see if I can notice set patterns that my opponent was using. Is there a combination that he favors? Everyone has a combination they favor, a combination they're going to return to over and over again. Doesn't matter how technical you are. Everyone just has a combo that they are very comfortable with. With Conor McGregor, who's a very technical boxer, it's that lead left hook followed by the straight. It's that jab followed by the straight, the feint jab followed by the straight. He also loves to lead with the lunging uppercut followed by the straight. Most of his combinations will end with that straight shot. It doesn't matter who the fighter is. Every fighter has a combination that they favor. Donald Cerrone loves ending his combinations with head kicks. If you can recognize these patterns when it comes to the way your opponent is fighting, you can set traps for them. You can place yourself in positions where they're not able to end their combinations with their favorite strike, and then you see clear openings for you to be able to counter. So Right here, I was trying to see if my opponent has some set combinations that he likes. I couldn't find any. At the very least, in the first few rounds, I really couldn't find any. He was switching things up very well, which is a very good way to strike. Sometimes he would lead with his jab. Other times he would move forward and lead with, right there, he led with a Superman punch. I did not expect that. That was the very first time he threw that in a fight. Like right there, he leads with the body kick. He was not predictable. And other times he leads with the jab. So what I figured was every single time he leads with that jab or with the jab straight, sway the second strike and return with my straight shot. And I was doing that very well in this fight. That was my plan right there. He goes for a jab, I sway that and hit him with a straight shot. I love that sway counter. It's a very effective strike in EA Sports UFC 2. It lands very well if you know how to return fire very, very quickly. Right there, I go for that same sway followed by the straight shot. So right now, he is controlling the center of the cage. That is okay. I don't mind him controlling the center of the cage. And the one thing that I keep saying about my style of fighting is that how I fight depends on what my opponent gives me. If I face an opponent that wants to back up and play the counter game, I will move forward. I will control that center. I never insist on being the guy that counters. If you see me moving backwards, it's because you're insisting on moving forward. You're insisting on being the aggressor. If you let off the gas, if you back up, if you want to show me that you can counter, I will move forward. I will take risks. I will take the center of that cage and I will lead that dance. And you notice the same thing when you watch really, really good strikers in MMA. Dominic Cruz does that. Everyone likes to think of Dominic Cruz as this guy who just runs in the cage. All he does is run. He never wants to lead. He never goes for the finish. That's bullshit. If you watch his last fight against Uriah Faber, he was leading that dance the whole entire time because Uriah did not want to take risks. When you watch that last fight against Uriah, the one person in that fight that did not want to take risks was Uriah Faber. He was throwing single shots because he didn't want to leave himself too open for counters, and he wasn't moving forward. He was backing up, and because he decided to back up, Dominic Cruz took the center of the cage, pushed him backwards. He was still moving, he was still being elusive, but he took the center and brought the fight to Uriah Faber. And you see that a lot. Now, when Uriah decided to move forward, Dominic Cruz backed up, assumed the counter roll, and countered the living hell out of Uriah. And he did that also against TJ. Whatever you want to do, I will adjust to it. And that's why Dominic will tell you he makes adjustments in the fight based on instincts. Excuse me. What he means by that is dependent on what his opponent throws at him, that's what's going to determine what he's going to do in there. If you come at him aggressive, he's going to make that adjustment instantly, instinctually. He's going to realize, okay, now you move forward, now you're taking the aggressive stance. I have to counter. I have to respect that. I have to move backwards and use counter shots to get you out of there. And if you decide to play passive and back up and take up that counter roll, Dominic Cruz will decide, instinctually he's going to recognize that, and he's going to put the heat on you and move forward. Whatever you throw at him, he's going to be able to counter that. And Conor McGregor does that very, very well. And when you don't do that, you run into the sort of problem that Conor McGregor ran into when he faced Nate Diaz the first time. He was so insistent on being the aggressor, even when he was getting tagged, even when he was getting tired. He was so hell-bent on being the guy that pushes forward, being the guy that goes in there and takes that center, and that's why he lost that fight. Same thing happened to Cain Velasquez against Fabricio Verdum. Cain Velasquez was getting tired, but because he is Cain, because he has to be Cain Velasquez, he has to be the guy pushing forward. Cain will rather empty his whole entire gas tank in the first round and dig himself into a hole than back up, reset, and play a little passive. Cain Velasquez will not do that. Same thing with Daniel Cormier. When he was facing John Jones, he was pushing forward, pushing hard. He did not know when to stop pushing. You gotta know when to stop pushing, you gotta know when to relax, and you gotta know when it's time to counter. Right there, my opponent is moving forward a little bit. Right there, he's backing up a little. I'm taking up the center of the cage. I notice him being passive a little bit. I will take that center. Boom, he's moving forward again. I start backing up. Whatever you throw at me, I am going to react accordingly. I'm not going to force anything. I won't stand in front of you and force you back, especially when I'm using Dominic Cruz. I am going to wait. Whatever it is that you do, then I'm going to react to it. So right there, this round is almost over. In round number 3, I am starting to get way more comfortable. I'm noticing my stamina is going down, but as long as my stamina and that of my opponent is around the same, I'm fine. I'm very comfortable. I don't think there are a lot of people that can fight as well as I can with low stamina. Not trying to brag, just saying. And I'm also keeping tracks of the stats right there. I look at it. I am way ahead when it comes to significant strikes. I am way ahead when it comes to total strikes landed. So I'm feeling pretty confident, feeling pretty good in this fight right here. Now, one more thing I forgot to mention, that my opponent he was parrying his head a lot. And anytime I face a guy who parries their head, it is a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass because you can't really focus on their head too much. You can't throw the sort of combinations that you want to throw to the head. I have all sorts of combinations I can direct to the head. If players do not parry, I mean, his head would have been blown up, and I believe I would have got him out of there way earlier. But right there, look at that. He's playing passive, and look what I'm doing. Like I said, now I'm controlling the center. Whatever you want to do, bro. He's backing up. Now he's coming forward again. I try to notice very little. The second I feel he's starting to be aggressive, create distance, create that space. You always have to have distance between you and your opponent so that you can see what he is trying to throw at you. If you don't have space between you and your opponent, you will not see the shots coming. You will not be able to sway or defend against those shots. Right there, he's moving forward again. I'm trying to land significant strikes. That's the 4th round. I'm trying to go to his body. I'm trying to go to his leg. Sure, this thing's playing. Okay. And he's moving forward a little bit. Now we're kind of in the middle. No one's really moving forward. No one's really backing up. It's just all about landing significant strikes right now. Look at that. I'm going for the sway straight to the head. Body kick. Straight to the head, looking for that lead body kick as well. I see him parrying his head. I'm trying to be really careful to not get parried. I don't want to get parried because Thomas Almeida has a lot of power in this division. I was also surprised at how fast he was compared to Cruz. I really thought I would have an insane speed advantage, but I didn't. I really didn't. I did not feel way faster than him. I didn't even feel faster than him at all. It's probably because of my opponent's ability to defend strikes, but I did not feel like I was way faster than Thomas Almeida in this fight. I felt my footwork was good. I just did not feel the speed difference that I thought I would be feeling in there against Thomas. So right there, he's starting to lead right there, leading with the jab followed by the hook. I'm swaying his second strike. I let him throw the first, sway the second, and follow up with my straight. Watching my stamina though, making sure my stamina stays high, making sure that I have enough space to work, and making sure that after I throw a shot, I am out of the way. I don't want to be there for him to counter. See what I mean? Countering the second one. I feel his head getting red right there. I'm going to start pushing forward a little bit, but I'm also wary about the parry. He lands a body kick. Goes for the leg kick right there. He's starting to move his head a little bit. Going for the jab followed by the uppercut. Goes for the body kick. And as you can see, the left side of his face is all bloodied up. That's where I'm landing that straight shot. I keep landing that straight over and over again. See that? The jab straight keeps landing. Straight again, straight uppercut. Round is over. 4th round, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing pretty good, and I keep checking the stats. Right there, I check it again. I need to know, and I am way ahead. I need to know how far ahead I am so that I know how comfortable I can be in a fight. Right here, I knew it was up to him. He needs to push forward. He needs to do something now. He needs to try to finish this fight, or he's going to lose the fight by decision. The 5th round is about to start. This round was very interesting. We touch gloves. I notice his head is red. His left arm is damaged. So I'm going to start trying to focus more on his head to see if I can get this dude out of here. But I'm also very wary of the parry. I'm very careful. I don't want to get parried. don't want to get parried, and you're going to see why. Be getting parried, man. You know, the parry freezes you. Right there, he parries my head kick. That parry freezes you in place, and he's able to land some nasty shots after a parry. So right there, he's not pushing forward like I thought he would. I really thought he was going to push really hard in this round, considering he's losing the fight, but he didn't. And right there, I'm pushing forward on him. He's going to go for a clinch. Nope. His head is red. I see it. Parry. And gets me with a head kick. Now I'm rocked. Back up a little bit. He goes for the body kick. I am in danger right there. I'm just keeping my hands up. Moving. Trying to recover. Bam. Lands the straight shot right there. I knew I had to get him back. Had to get this dude back. He's going for head kicks now, trying to break my block. I believe that's what he was trying to do. And right now, I'm starting my combinations with the body to avoid that parry. As you can see, I'm going jab to the body, straight to the head, jab, straight to the head right there. Slowly making his head red. You see that? His head is slowly getting damaged. I'm just sneaking in shots right there. Slowly but surely sneaking in straight shots. Little by little. Straight shot in there. Pushing him backwards a little bit. Controlling that center. Now he's moving very well. Lands a body kick to my body. He goes for the head kick. Lands. Tries to get me in the clinch. I don't want to be in the clinch. I need to try to rock this guy with something. He already drew blood. I have to retaliate. I need my revenge. Pushing forward a little bit. Controlling that center. Going for the body now. He's backing up. Going for body kicks. Doing a pretty good job of blocking these shots. Going for the straight. I see that. I see it right there. Land a body kick. He sways it. Gets out of the way. Lands the nasty straight uppercut. Straight. His head is damaged. He lands a flying knee right there. Pushing forward on this dude, controlling the center. This round is almost over. I really wanted to try to finish this fight. Or at the very least, make sure that I am way ahead to the point that nothing right there. Straight lead head kick. Drops him. Gets on top of him. And he uses the little thing you do in guard to avoid getting punched. That's okay. You got to do what you got to do. I have him in half guard. And I am going to finish out this round. This fight in half guard position. 3, 2, 1. The fight is over. I am pretty confident that I won the fight. He did damage. I did more damage. I landed more significant strikes. I landed more total strikes. I have no doubt in my mind that I won the fight. So there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this little fight right here. Dominic Cruz is very interesting to use in EA UFC 2. Of course, he doesn't have any kind of special movements in the game. He doesn't have any special lunges. He doesn't have the classic Dominic Cruz, lean to the left and lean to the right that he does. He doesn't have the classic Dominic Cruz, stand switch before he counters. He doesn't have the classic Dominic Cruz feints and fakes, the fake movements he does. He doesn't have any of that in the game. But if you're using Dominic Cruz, honestly, he has such a unique style in the UFC. He's the one guy that if you pick Dominic, you gotta fight like Dominic. I don't understand people who pick Dominic and don't fight like him or don't try to. When you pick guys, right there as I won the fight, when you pick guys who are so unique like Dominic Cruz, man, you just gotta try to fight like that. Try to mimic him. Try to do what he does. It's fun. And I had a lot of fun facing this opponent. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It means a lot. Watch out for my prediction. I'm really gonna look into that fight between Dominic and Cody Garbrandt, and I'm gonna give you guys my prediction on that. So watch out for that in the next few days. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. It means a lot, and I will see you in the next one. As always, stay safe and have a wonderful day.